Hi, Thomas. How are you, Thomas? Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Same here. Hi, James. Every night I always say, maybe I won't do a live tonight. I'm kind of tired. And then I'm like, I'm not going to go to bed yet. Hi, Francisco. Did I say that right? Fran? On lives. And I don't want to be scrolling through TikTok, just aimlessly scrolling through TikTok. I try to avoid that at every cost. So on here, for anyone that's new, jumping on here, new to my content, we usually just talk about manifesting, creating your own reality, all that good stuff. Deprogramming your mind, more so than reprogramming your mind. I should write that at the top of my page. Deprogramming the mind, not reprogramming the mind. People are will ask me what kind of affirmations should I do? And I always say there's nothing wrong with affirmations, but go more general when you're doing affirmations, because if you're doing affirmations to get something, that's causing you more resistance. That's why I always say that. Mariana. You're grocery shopping? Oh, you poor thing. I am there. I'm at the food store every single day. Instead of doing a big food shopping, I do just if I need something, I grab a few things here and there. Hi, Vols. Hi, Sunny. Yes. Are you saying physical symptoms as in if you have any type of pain? Like pain in your body? MS? Is that what you mean? Like physical pain in that sense? The more you're releasing resistance and you're remaining calm and you're practicing that, yes. I don't even get sick. I do not get sick. Yes. Everything heals. Everything. When you're practicing calmness and you're practicing, just living your everyday life, appreciating the things you do have, and just doing those practices, really that's it. I know I'm always trying to I don't want to just say nonsense, because that's literally all you have to do. You're just releasing resistance, guys, because always remember that everything's already done here and now. Every reality exists here and now, right? And you're moving towards your best of everything. So you're just releasing resistance. Felt that coming. Just trying to avoid it. It's like I don't breathe as I'm speaking. I gotta tell my own self to take a breath sometimes. You've been drained. Are you doing, Doug, meditations and breath work and just practicing calmness and all those things right now? Because there are going to be times where you are tired, right? So, James, you just have to know that that reality exists. Like, there's already a reality of that relationship, that healthy relationship. And you just have to know that you're moving towards that, like right now. As soon as you think it, it's done. And you're moving towards it now. And as much as, just know that it's done and you're moving towards it. That's really it. Like, there's nothing really you have to do in order to start experiencing it. Just allow it to unfold very naturally. I always say when it comes to relationships, my biggest tip to anyone is focus on yourself 100%. Focus on feeling good without a relationship, like filling up your own cup, right? Not needing someone outside of you to like fill that void, if that makes sense. Become secure on your own. No, I mean, I know, Doug, it's one of those things like, I always tell people when it comes down to meditation, and I know it's not a favorite topic for people. I just know. I've been talking about meditation for 3 years, and it's always like the lowest views on things, and people think they can't do it, and they think it's hard. And I understand that. It's you have to sit there with your thoughts in quiet. Like, nobody feels like doing that. But if you can do it, like, just give yourself like 3 minutes. And like, I have tons of meditation videos on here, just strictly meditation. If you'll see it, I think it's my first playlist. It's meditation, and it's just a couple videos that you just sit there, like, give yourself like 2 minutes just to sit there in silence, quieting your thoughts, staring at something like that spins or something. And just know, like, guys and Sunny and anyone who's like doing, like, if you're really practicing releasing resistance, your world does get quiet for a while, right? You're not jumping from manifestation to manifestation when you do this. Like, you're really releasing all these unfavorable things. So, like, your world will get quiet for a while, but that's a really good thing, okay? So just relax in knowing that things are going to start, like, coming in as well. Like, for me, it was very gradual, like manifestations. When I really made it about releasing resistance and feeling good with what I did have, I was releasing all the things that didn't serve me, but then things started really coming in for me. What? What's this about this pizza guy in Delco? Fighting. For me, the breathing is key. Yeah, Sunny, that is so, like, so helpful, right? The breathing exercise. This is what I used to do. I used to do these little classes, like, probably, like, I was always doing this stuff, like, always talking about this stuff. So I had, like, not a lot of people in this group that I had, because it was, like, people that I knew, right? And we would do these breathing exercises, like, every Sunday. And what I would do, it would be, like, 5 minutes of breath work, and then 3, so I called it 7-minute meditations. So we would do 5 minutes of, like, deep breath work, like what I do with the stomach pumping and all that. And then the 3 minutes we would just remain silent, and it would just be like meditation for those 3 minutes. So that's another thing you can add. So if you're doing, like, your stomach, if you're doing the breath work exercises, maybe do that, time yourself for like 5 minutes or whatever, and then go into like a short meditation where you're quieting your mind. That can be, like, really powerful as well. Aw, thanks, Jay. I just seen that. That's really sweet. Yeah, I used to, sometimes it was like just me and like one other person, but it didn't matter because, back then, living and learning, right? Until I got on TikTok and, like, everything changed for me. Oh, good night, Joe. Nice seeing you, Joe. Hi, Sherry. Yes, I love to laugh it off. That's what I do so much now, like laughing things off. I don't really follow any of that stuff, Leslie, like, because you're always manifesting, so I don't follow any of that stuff. And so for me, it's like there's no difference. You're literally always manifesting. You're always creating with your thoughts, right? So I don't really pay attention to any of the clips and the moon stuff or anything like that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. If you like it and it's something you enjoy, then definitely, go for it. See, I don't know anything that's going on. When a bad situation is unavoidable, what mindset do you suggest on how best to deal with it? So just know, so in those moments, James, I would just go straight to remaining as calm and quiet as possible, moving as slow as possible. I always say, just remember this, James, to your question, because I know there's another James on here, and your question was, when a bad situation is unavoidable, what mindset do you suggest? Right away, I always say to myself that nobody can hurt me in my reality. You always want to remind yourself of that, right? Nobody can affect you or hurt you in your reality unless you give them permission. We give them permission by reacting, by getting upset, by, letting it bother us. So in those moments, you're going to use that as an opportunity to help you practice remaining calm, right? Because none of these stories hold any power over you until you give them power. So this is why we practice these things in our everyday life, right? To get rid of all these unfavorable stories. We practice remaining calm because the more that you're practicing remaining calm, you're seeing how powerful you are as these stories fade out of your life. You're seeing that these stories have zero power at all over you. Like, we think they're so real. They're so darn heavy and they're so dominant in our reality. And we didn't know that we created our own reality. So we were just living our lives, right? Creating unfavorable things, right? A lot of it stems from our environment and listening to what other people think, caring what other people think, and we create these unfavorable stories in our reality. So just always remind yourself in those moments that nothing can hurt me or affect me unless I give it power. So always in those moments, you want to practice calmness. This is how you're going to release everything that doesn't serve you in your reality by practicing. I call it non-reaction. And non-reaction is remaining calm, remaining silent in those moments. If you feel the need to say anything to anyone, you feel as if someone's coming at you, just make sure you take a step back, breathe slower, calm yourself down, and get yourself to a higher, kinder, calmer energy. So you can say something like, I just don't agree with that. And you want to come from that kind energy, right? Not from a low anger, frustrated energy, because you'll just keep repeating stuff. Does that make sense? I know I went on a rampage, but it was a really good question. Yes, Sherry. Yes. So sometimes I know, that's what most people's question is, but this, because at first people that are new to all this stuff, they don't understand that it's all you. You are the creator in your reality. You hold all the power, right? No problem, James. It was a good question. It was a really good question. When I get upset, I just... Hey, that's awesome, Zayas. That is, because Abraham Hicks does say that if distracting yourself is fine. If you can do something that's a lot of people can't do that, but some people can. They can just completely ignore it. Nope, I don't accept that in my reality, and they can just move on from that. So that's good if you can do that. There's nothing testing you, CC. That's the thing. A lot of people think we're being tested, but you're never being tested. It's just that you're still reacting in some way, shape, or form. If stories keep showing up a couple more times, you just keep practicing calmness. They do fade out of your life. It's just that it's still in your mind. You're still reacting in some way. Even if you're practicing calmness, you're probably still reacting. But trust me, you just keep staying calm, they literally will go away. They will. I've done this with everything in my life. I know they feel heavy at times. Trust me, I've been there. I had a lot of things that just were very unfavorable. I always say, I take full responsibility for everything that I created unconsciously. There's nobody to blame. I mean, you don't even have to really blame yourself, but at the same sense, it's easier for me to take responsibility in those moments. Hi, Ava. Because I know I'm the only one that can stop them from happening again by remaining calm. That's why I take full responsibility. No one else can do it for me. Without a doubt, Sonny. I agree. And it's lonely at times. I'll admit that, guys. I'm a loner. I'm okay with being by myself. Have always been okay being by myself and just being alone. But sometimes this is very lonely. Like you are like just always by yourself. At least I know I am. But you know it's only temporary because things do start to pick up. They actually start to pick up. But it's things that are favorable for your life. It's things that are meant for your life. It's not the stuff that just didn't serve you anymore, right? Yeah, Sonny. I know what you mean. Exactly what Ava said. When you're saying, why haven't I seen it? That's the reality you're recreating. So this is what I always tell people with this question, because it's a very common question, and we've all been there. Nobody would say that they haven't said that. When you feel that, you still want to remain calm. When you're like, why isn't it coming? But you want to say, I know it's done. I know my manifestation is done, because you have to understand that every reality exists in this very moment. I always say it like this: the stories are already written. So whatever you want to experience is done. So when you're finding yourself saying, why isn't it here yet? You also want to say that very calmly and quietly and to yourself. Don't voice it to anyone. Don't ask questions. Don't go to coaches, because you're just keeping that reality active in your life. So in those moments, just get really calm and just say, like, I'm just, I'm excited for this to get here. And you just say it calmly, but you also say, I know it's done and I know it's unfolding. And then you release that resistance in that moment. I always say that's not going to stop you from getting what you want. You just have to rephrase it in that moment, and you have to be calm. I can't tell you how many times I sat with myself and said, I want to be a victim right now. I need to be a victim right now. Everybody just leave me alone. Nobody was there, but it was just me. I always said, I don't know who I was talking to, but I was like, I want to be a victim right now. I know I'm responsible for everything that I created, but I'm just angry. Leave me alone. And I would release that resistance, and 5 minutes later, I'd be right back at it, living my life. So it's okay to have moments like that. You're a human. These things that we create unconsciously, they suck. Some of these stories are horrible, right? So just keep practicing non-reaction. Keep remaining calm. Know that you're allowed to have moments where you're just like impatient, or because you're still human, and where you drop in those lower energies and you feel like a victim, but just don't stay on them for long. Just sit there, be a victim for a moment, give yourself that time, give yourself that space, give yourself that moment, hold space for yourself in those moments, and keep it to yourself. Don't tell anyone about it. Be your own best friend, even in those moments, and just sit with yourself in those moments, and then just move on. You'll feel better. You'll laugh. I laugh. I'm like, all right, I needed that. Now I can move on. It's actually very therapeutic in a way to do that, I think. And it hasn't stopped me from getting what I wanted. So do I manifest to be Julie Roberts? I think that's so funny, because I always said how much I absolutely loved her growing up. She was literally like my favorite. All her movies I loved, and everybody says I look like her. So it's kind of weird, right? Like that people always say that. It wasn't really how she looked. I loved her personality, how she was always so happy and laughing, and like that's why I loved her. It really had nothing to do with what she looked like. So it's so funny when people say that. Hi, Curtis. I'm just scrolling up here because I know I was yapping. It does, Mike. It does at times, right? But like you just find something. So I always try to, hi, Heather. Me neither, Sonny. I can't even drink anymore. Me too, Sherry. I love hanging out with you guys. Like literally, you're my friends. I literally just said that. I'm like, I don't get on here. I get on here to like hang out with my friends, like literally. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, and I scrolled up and I lost my I tried yoga for a little bit and I didn't love it. I did it for a little bit. It's just like you live and learn. You try things out, you see what you like, that's like life in general, right? Darn it. Oh, it was about being a loon. Yes. Or no, it was about alcohol. The other day I drank 2 beers and I had a headache I'm not kidding, guys. It was almost 2 days. I had a migraine and I know it was like a sign, like saying like, girl, you can't drink anymore. Like you're done. You are done. So I'm done. I'm not anymore. I'm not drinking anymore. I learned my lesson. Hi, Nathan. So just know, Justin, you're not stuck. Trust me, you're not stuck. They were my exact words before I learned all this stuff. So you have to know that you create your own reality, though. From here on out, you're not stuck. You create your own reality. Okay. What you're going to move forward with is you're going to move forward with knowing that you're moving forward to your better life, to better, to more, to whatever you want to experience. Know you're unlimited. And the practices that I'm going to tell you to do, I don't know if you're new to any of this stuff, is to just make it about how you feel. And make it more so about when you're not feeling good. When you're not feeling good, you really want to practice calmness, calming your mind, doing some breath work. I would also recommend, Justin, start a meditation practice. Start a meditation practice, add some breath work, and make it more about how you're feeling throughout your day. And when you're not feeling good, practice calmness, practice non-reaction. I'm telling you, your life will change so quick, Justin, so quick. Especially if you don't know anything about creating your own reality and manifestation. Because if you didn't go down that whole rabbit hole of doing things to manifest, then this is a great place to start. So I never say, I don't know if I'm going to say your name right, I never tell people to try to stay positive. I never tell people to try to feel good, right? Because feeling good is a byproduct of practicing calmness, of practicing non-reaction. But I do tell people to check in with how you're feeling throughout the day. Check in with how you're feeling and be like, because I can find myself when I'm getting bored. I use the word bored, okay? If I'm getting bored, yes, listen to Kira. Oh, yes, and I have a face. Thanks, Sherry. And when I find myself getting a little bored, I can just listen to a song that I like. The song I played in our private Facebook group today will get me right out of it. And I will get up and I will start doing something so silly. Like, I don't know, I'll run the vacuum just for the heck of it. Or I'll mop my floor just for, like, literally, I don't even have to do it. But I'll just do it because it gets me moving, right? So like it's about checking in with how you're feeling more so than trying to be positive, because there's a lot of effort behind that, right? And there's a lot of resistance behind that. And it usually backfires when we're trying to do anything at all. Yes, Sherry. And like I do my own meditations, guys. Like I don't post this stuff because I'm just posting it. I post it because I like it. So those mini meditations I post with just watching the thing spin around and listening to a fan noise, that's the stuff I like to do. So I share it with you guys because it's easy. It's easy to sit there and get hypnotized by a spinning wheel. That's meditation. When you're quieting your thoughts and you're just watching something spin and you're just like getting hypnotized by like watching a fan spin, that's meditation. You're quieting your thoughts in those moments. A couple minutes of that throughout your day is so powerful. It's helping you calm your thoughts down because our thoughts are what's creating, right? So it's helping you get rid of all the junk. It's cleaning your energy. I call it cleaning your energy. So Rocky, are you asking how to go about that? Is that what you're asking? Or Scott, Rocky or Scott? Oh, thank you, CT. So I would tell you even that retired deputy, without a doubt, I don't know if you do, start a meditation practice. Start a meditation and breath work practice without a doubt, and practice calmness also. How can I finally abandon the vices? Practicing non-reaction will help you. The old stories, the old thoughts, all those things, practicing non-reaction. You're more so deprogramming the mind, right? You don't have to reprogram the mind because that's very limiting, right? And there's a lot of resistance when you're reprogramming your mind. And there's an easier way, and it's called deprogramming the mind. You're just getting and you're going to be way more successful doing that because you're moving towards everything, not just a manifestation. When you're reprogramming your mind to manifest something, it's very limiting, and you're kind of staying on a hamster wheel, and it's not going to get. You want to manifest everything. You want to manifest moving towards your best life. So when you're deprogramming the mind, when you're making it about non-reaction, you're moving towards everything in your life, right? Not anymore, Mick. Honestly, I'm really going to be truthfully honest. Yes. Did I? 1,000,000%, Mick. Yeah. But when I strictly made it first I had to practice this, right? I had to practice this in all the areas of my life that were very unfavorable. And when I seen it changing in my life, then I was like going all in 100%. And I was doing all these practices. But without a doubt, practicing calmness and non-reaction and silence, and I'm talking dead stillness, silence, you will get rid of everything unfavorable in your life, guys. I really mean that. Practice non-reaction. It is extremely powerful. It will change your life. And Sherry, I love what you posted today. I never seen her say that. Abraham Hicks, in our private Facebook group, Sherry posted something that Abraham Hicks said, and she said, non-reaction is the key to alignment. Well, alignment is what leads you to everything you want, so it makes perfect sense. I learned non-reaction from Eckhart Tolle. He always talks about non-reaction. So no, I don't really, Mick. Honestly, I don't. Maybe slightly at times. I'm not perfect. But for the most part, I'm very good at, I know exactly what to do in those moments. I'm like very well trained in non-reaction, in releasing resistance. Can I 100% leave? So that's what you're doing when you practice this, Paul. When you're saying, how do I 100% leave the old me? It's practicing non-reaction. It's releasing resistance. That's 100% how you do it. I always say 100% too, so that's funny. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for the flowers. Is that your experience that the best breakthroughs came? Yeah, some of them did, Ava. I know. I never really like to talk about that too much to people because I don't want people to want to have a breakdown, to think that that's like what's going to bring something in. But sometimes things we have a lot of resistance built up on certain topics. And yes, I always had like these big ha-ha moments after I would have like this breakdown, almost like where I would be releasing a lot of resistance around a topic. Yes, definitely. I always said anytime I was just like really just remaining calm and watching, it's because you're literally seeing something that doesn't serve you exit your life. That's the breakthrough. Like you're watching something in front of your eyes just never come back again. It's like it's gone. Like it hasn't come back, right? And you're almost suddenly, like Abraham Hicks always says, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's almost like you're almost waiting for it to come back. And because you have to remember, like they hold no power, right? But like I always try to explain it as sometimes they linger a little. And I think if you don't know how this works, you kind of keep reacting because you're not understanding that it holds no power until you give it power. So you kind of keep reacting to it. So even if it's like kind of like, I watched things like just fade away to where they were kind of hanging on by like a thread. And if you're going to react to it like you used to, it's going to come back full again. So that's why I always tell people, like, practicing non-reaction is going to change your life. It's going to change, and use it in every area of your life. Anytime you're not feeling good, you know it's something that doesn't serve you. So just keep practicing remaining calm in those moments. Keep practicing, relaxing into that discomfort as much as possible, knowing that the thing about it is, and another thing I realize is, if you're keeping it to yourself and you're remaining as silent as possible, the story may hang out with you. This is how I always explained it. The story may be there with you for the day, but you're really not fueling it. It's just there. So I used to say, like, okay, you're going to hang out with me for the day. And I just would, like, kind of laugh it off. So it doesn't always mean, that's why I always say, like, it's not always very comfortable, because sometimes these stories hang around. But if you're not feeling it, if you're kind of laughing at it, like, yeah, okay, this is not the reality I want to experience anymore, and all right, you can hang out with me for the day, it'll disappear, because you're giving it no power. And I like to explain that to people. Because, sometimes things just pop up, like, that are, like, out of nowhere, out of the blue, and you're like, where did that even come from? And I kind of just, like, it's just a thought, and it's unfavorable. And, it caught me at a time where I maybe wasn't in, like, I was dropping a little or getting bored. And I'm like, no, like, this, I don't accept this for my reality. But sometimes, like, it can for a second take you in, right? It can suck you in, and you just stay calm. And it doesn't mean that sometimes that thought just vanishes from my mind. It's kind of like still lingering, and I'm like, what the heck is going, like, why are you, I always, like, I know, like, I'm looking at it, because I just look at these as, like, thought forms around us all the time, right? And I'm like, no, like, I don't accept you in my reality. Like, you're not a part of my story, right? So I'm always telling people, be careful about what you accept, be careful about what you watch, be careful about what you're entertaining, because people are very persuasive, and you might say, all right, I guess I have to work on that more, or I guess like, something outside of you may watch, and you may be like, you know what, it's telling me that I should probably do this more. So no, don't accept anything that doesn't feel good, that doesn't match what you want, what feels best to you. Is it Christian? Is your name Christian? P? I feel like I always called you Christina. I used to love when one of my favorite videos of hers is how she used to say, like, I'm so bad at reenacting things, but how, like, she almost thinks, like, she does, like, she's not trying to say, like, you just have to be happy and just accept your reality for what it is. Like, no, these things are going to start coming in, like, they really are, right? And I have one of those videos in my favorites, and I think I'm going to post it because I always laugh at it. Because it is truly, these things are going to start coming in. They really are. Your manifestation. It's crazy, because when I think back to, like, I don't want to say who I used to be, because yes, that was another reality, right? That was who I used to be. And I never would have thought that person back then would have never thought that I would be here now. There's no way I could have ever have seen this for myself. I didn't manifest this, like, specific. This kind of just unfolded for me. So, but I would have never been able to see this for myself. Does, like, that make sense? Like, this would have been way too far out of my comfort zone. So this had to be very gradual for these things. These things, you want them to be very gradual. You don't want it to just say, like, go stand out on the middle of the stage in front of every million people and go speak in front of them right now. No, you don't get to plan your speech. Just go out there. Like, that's what it would be like, right? Like, you want these things you want to be prepared. You want to be internally prepared for these things, right? So that's how I look at it. When I look at, like I say, my old self 5 years ago, like, heck no. No way would I have seen myself here and I would have said, nope, not happening. I don't think so. I don't want this. I don't want this. Abraham Hicks. She's Esther Hicks, and she channels Abraham. But yeah, you can find her on YouTube. Awesome, like the best to me. I'm not gonna like. I think she's the most best. I think she's the most updated teacher on manifesting today. Her and Bashar is very close to, very similar to her. Yes, and Eckert as well. Yes, exactly, Fred. You want to be ready to be ready to be ready. And it's true. Like it's always like we jump ahead and we sometimes think like we think nothing's changing, but so much is changing. So much is changing, and we get wrapped up in our thoughts again, and we're trying to figure things out again. Like that's my newest thing. Don't try to figure anything out. You don't have to figure anything out ever again. Like, how great is that? You don't ever have to figure anything out. Like, just know it's all going to keep moving towards more and better, and it's just going to keep on getting better. I love Eckhart Tolle. Is it Tolle or Tolle? I never knew how to say his last name. I think I always said it different. But he was like, you know, his teachings were very meditative because he always took a pause. He is very big about like taking that pause in between, you know, your words, right? That space in between. Is it Tully? I've always said Tully too, Sally. There really is, Sherry. It's so true. It doesn't stop, right? I think it's just a lot of people, you know, like it's hard sometimes to do the deprogramming for people because they just want to distract themselves all the time, right? And just move to this and move to that and jump to that. And another thing about it is that people believe that we have to take action so much because we're so action oriented as humans. And that's part of our programming, is to be action oriented. So we think we have to do something in order to manifest, right? So we go right into action by doing things to get something. And it just keeps you in a like that hamster wheel, that chasing energy, right? Even if you do get it, you're still not fully non-reactive because you're not, so like this is what I always tell people. If you truly want to do affirmations to manifest, do whatever you want, but make sure you're practicing non-reaction also. Just make sure you're doing that, because you're going to get these things and they're going to fall right through your hands. You're not going to be happy, and you're just going to keep repeating cycles. So you're still not trusting in this at all. From that comment right there, you're not trusting in this. You're not practicing releasing resistance. That's all reaction. That's an old unfavorable story, right? That doesn't feel good. So in those moments, what I would do is I would say I would get so calm. I wouldn't tell a person about that story. I would keep that to myself. I would stay completely silent. I wouldn't say a word. And that would be a perfect opportunity for me to practice non-reaction. Yeah, and like even not for nothing, but work on yourself right now. Stay away from this is an unfavorable relationship and you're just going to keep repeating cycles. Focus on you. You need to focus on yourself. Stay away from the relationship right now. It's not serving you at all. Focus on you, filling up your own cup, being happy without a relationship, not needing something outside of you, right? For a while, just you 100%, and being able to be like independent on your own pretty much, not needing someone outside of you to do that for you. We have ourselves, right? That's just an experience. It's supposed to be two healthy people coming together. That's what it's supposed to be. It's like Abraham says, we're never going to stop wanting. Yeah, Sherry, that's one of my biggest things too now, Sherry, is that there's never an end. So you might as well learn to be at peace now, because you're always going to be growing and expanding. There's never going to be an end to your growth and expansion. So make peace with where you're at now. It's always going to, just know it's going to keep getting better. And I think it's really important to practice that, to practice knowing that it's going to keep getting better from here. It's going to keep, you are being provided for, you are being guided. Know that. It's not going to, and you want to imprint that in your mind right now. It's getting better from here. It's getting better from here. It's only getting better from here. And we start to see that when we practice non-reaction and and when you start practicing non-reaction, you do see that everything's working in your favor no matter what. And I've learned that through my experience, that when I felt like things were not going in my way and I'd be like, why is this happening? I would always remember to remain calm. I always say calm and kindness, calm and kind. Those two always go together. Calm, calm and kind. Not so much positive, because I know people, that word gets thrown all over the place. Calm and kind in those moments when you think it's not going your way, and I promise you will see very quickly that it is going your way. It is. So, let me hold on. I got something to like jump up and do videos. It's okay, because you have to tell yourself this too, Carrie. It's only going to get better from here, because now I know this information. I am thankful for now knowing this information, that now I can just practice non-reaction and remaining calm in these unfavorable situations. From here on out, I'm going to stay calm, and I'm going to practice calmness, and I'm going to know that everything's working in my favor from this day forward, and it's only going to get better from here, because now I know this information, and I'm thankful that I know this information now. So it can only get better from here, Carrie, if you keep practicing this non-reaction, releasing resistance. I promise you. But you have to do the work. You have to, even I always recommend starting a meditation practice if you don't meditate, adding some breath work for those moments when you're panicking. It's not hard. It's really not. Once you start getting yourself into a little bit of a routine, you're going to see changes. The thing about practicing non-reaction is that you see instant results from it. You see instant. It's not like when you're doing affirmations and you're like, how long is this going to take? Like, this could be ever. When you're practicing non-reaction, you're going to see instant results in your life, in any other areas. Maybe not the one that's dominant, but other areas of your life are going to improve. And that's what builds your trust in the fact that you create your own reality. Aw, Sherry, I love that, Sherry. I literally love that. You're so positive, Sherry. Does it count if I stay quiet? But that's okay. So, Mansta, it's okay, because you're doing the best you can in that moment. If you're quiet and you're keeping to yourself, but you're upset and you're frustrated in that moment, that's okay, because that you're doing the best you can in that moment. Even if you feel like you just want to scream or you just want to cry and you just want to let it out, do that to release resistance. There's no making a mistake. You're doing the best you can, and that's all that matters. It's going to keep getting easier. Your life is going to start to get better. Yes, and what Heather said, breath work. Thanks, guys, for reminding me, because honestly, and I'm being just very honest, I don't really do breath work anymore, but it saved my life many times. And I forget about it because I don't do it anymore, right? So I really appreciate it when you guys bring that up. Breath work is extremely helpful. And I am an example of how it's not like you have to do it forever, because your life actually does start to get better. So you don't even need to do it forever. But in those times when you're first learning this information and you have stories that are popping up that are very unfavorable, breath work is a lifesaver, literally a lifesaver. Yes, it definitely takes practice. It takes a lot of those unfavorable things. I always say, like, you're using these things to really practice it. And sometimes I don't know how I created some of the stories. And I always say maybe it was to help people. Maybe this stuff, that's how I always have a reason. Everything happens for a reason. So I'm always like, oh, they just had to happen so I could teach people how to do this. Maybe, maybe not. Whatever makes me feel better in the moment. Because I had so many things that I had to work through. So yes, Ava's right. And like I always say, the byproduct of non-reaction is truly feeling good because that's your true nature. But you can do things in your everyday life. Like I always say, like for me, I would be like, all right, what can I do now? I'm going to paint my nails. I'm going to run and get my drink that I love right now. I'm going to make a TikTok. I'm going to take a ride in my car by myself and pick my drink up. And then I'm going to make a TikTok video, or I'm going to make a meditation video. So like for me, like that's what I do. I ask myself questions like, what do I feel like doing today? Or what am I going to make for dinner today? I'll make this for dinner. Like, so I just talk to myself all the time. Like literally, does anyone else talk to themselves? I literally talk to myself all the time. I talk to myself like, and my kids are like around. I'm like talking to myself. I am literally my own best friend. No doubt in my mind. Yes, I agree. I think meditation is very, very important. And I always tell people, like, don't know, I'm very good at quieting my thoughts and just connecting. Like, I can just quiet my thoughts right now. I can just quiet them and go to that place of, like, meditation. But I always tell people I meditated a whole bunch in the beginning. Like, I was dedicated to meditation. I would wake up an hour before my time to get ready for work just to meditate. Yeah, I'm out loud talking to myself, like, and then I catch myself and I start laughing. I'm like, I don't know no one's here. I'm just trying to read these. They're coming in so fast. I love the trees, birds. Oh, I love that, Mick. I love birds. Like outside, like I talk to the birds too. Like I'm one of those people. I'm like, hi guys. People think I was nuts. My animals, all the time, talk to my animals. Say it. Are you saying the Eagles? Is that why you said that? Hi everyone jumping on here. I'm like noticing new faces, new names. Do you, Ava, too? Yes, like I love like I love how like you know how birds like they just fly in sync together, and like you'll see like an eagle flying a loon, and I don't know, I do. I get so crazy. Like, I think things are like, I'm from Philly, so you don't see many deer here, but I do have a nice area where I live where there's all woods back here. And one time, a whole family, I just missed it with my camera. A whole family of deer crossed the road right in front of me. There was nobody else around, and I just watched like mom, dad, and baby deer all, and to me, like, that's amazing. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing this. Like, I always think it happens for a reason, right? Those types of things excite me. Yeah, that's one thing, Mark. I never got into yoga. I tried yoga for a while. I did do it for a while. And I just never got hooked on it. It just wasn't meant for me, Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I know, Ava, and I really so badly wanted to catch it for you guys, like this was a while ago, but I wanted to catch it on my TikTok story. But of course, I couldn't get my phone out fast enough because I was just like, overly excited. And I see like a lot of red robins and blue jays in my yard and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I can just sit there and watch them all day. I had to follow. How do you stay so positive? Everybody says that. Like, I just made a video about that because someone asked me, are you always positive? I'm not always like this. This puts me in a high energy because I love talking about this. Like, this is like truly what I love to talk about most. But I'm actually just a very calm person. Like, I am happy for the most part. I'm not going to lie. I am most of the time, I am positive. But I have my moments too where things hit me out of nowhere and I got to practice calmness, right? I'm still human. I still like have my moments where I react, right? But I can tell you right now, I've overcome so much of that. Yes, Mark, definitely. I have my moments where I'm just laying around and just relaxing. I am so picky about what I entertain. Like, I don't watch like any TV. You would probably think I have a really boring life. I always say that. People will probably think I have a pretty boring life. But I'm just so picky about what I watch. By practicing calmness, meditation, breath work, Carly, for me, it was all doing I would call it doing the inner work and just going full in, all in. I really didn't do anything to manifest anything though. That's the thing. And things just unfolded for me. Like talking about even just, I would just ask. I would say like, I really want to start writing ebooks. So if you really get silent, your answers will come quick. And I used to say, I want it to be effortless. And it would be effortless. Like it was no struggle, because if it's struggle for me, I'm going to think it's not meant for me. So I always I feel like I have a connection with, I don't know who, or my higher self, because I would always say listen, I want to start writing ebooks, but I want it to be easy. Like I don't want it to be hard. So I went on Canva, and it was one video that showed me how to do it. Super simple. You know, you have to be in a flowing energy in order to really be able to let it flow, right? Otherwise you're going to get angry and you're like, why isn't this working? Right. So this is where practicing non-reaction and practicing feeling good will help you with your dreams and with these things that you actually want to experience, right? So I was like, I really want to write ebooks, but I want it to be easy. So then again, like I said, Canva started. I said, oh, Canva, let me go on Canva. And I watched one video, showed me how to do it, super simple, super easy. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to figure out a way to upload them into something like a library or something. What do I do? And then another video came up, and it was actually, I think it was all one video. And it showed me word for word how to do it. It was effortless, guys, effortless. So it's about really being calm to be able to receive these messages, right? And just know that some things may have a little bit more resistance around them. So it's okay. Just know that it's unfolding and you're moving towards it in every single moment. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to manifest. You don't have to do affirmations or none of that. You just have to get calm. That's it. Just get calm, practice calmness. You're being led to it, and it's all unfolding for you. That is true, BB. Yes. Because there's a lot of things that I've attempted to do, and I'm like, oh, this isn't working. Like, this is too much work for me. That, to me, I say it's not meant for me. I don't force anything. I force nothing. Did I miss some questions? Thank you, guys. You are awesome with answering these questions. Whatever I sit down and think, I started by thinking. Yeah, Carly, that definitely practicing meditation, quieting your thoughts in those moments as much as possible. And you know what, Carly, check out to do that, because if you're saying that you're overthinking, watch my videos on release resistance, Carly. They'll help you a lot because we don't have to figure anything out no matter what's going on in our lives. And that's what a lot of my videos will remind you of. is not to overthink so much. And also I have videos in meditation. Take time out to quiet your mind, to quiet your thoughts. There goes the voice. Yesterday it was like on point. I had no like scratchiness or anything. Oh yeah, woke, definitely. I've been posting all of my lives, guys, on YouTube as well. So you guys can check them out. And today it uploaded so quick. The one I told you guys it takes a while to upload them. You just have to like be patient. But today it went a lot quicker, so I was really happy about that. How about when there's... That's an unfavorable story, right? So in those moments, that's unfavorable. That doesn't feel good. So that's why I always tell people, make it about feeling. So when something doesn't feel good, we practice releasing resistance. We practice remaining calm. We practice not feeling that. If you don't feel that story will fade out of your life. It's just that simple. Whatever doesn't feel good, MS, doesn't serve you. It's unfavorable. It's thoughts that are unfavorable. It's an unfavorable story. And that doesn't feel good. So we just stay calm in those moments. We stay calm. We breathe slower. We slow our thoughts down. We don't tell anyone about it, right? That's really important because that's reacting. That's what keeps it active. Your attention and focus is on it and you're keeping it active. So we take our attention away from it as much as possible. We stay calm. We breathe slower. We don't talk about it. We do breath work, right? We do all those kind of things. And you keep doing that, that story will fade out of your life. But also, the biggest thing when it comes to relationships is you really want to focus 100% on yourself, right? When people tell me that there's a third party or there's this happening with them or they're not texting me, that to me says, stop. Focus on you. Stop worrying about this relationship. This is not a relationship you want to be in. Focus 100% on you. Say kindly that you don't want to, you want to take time for yourself to the person and focus on you, 100% on you. You know what you want to experience. You know that that reality exists for you. You're moving towards it in this very moment, right? So if you're getting like, oh, they didn't text me or they never call me back or they're seeing someone else or I see them checking other girls on their phone. That is not a relationship you want to be in. So you say, kindly, I am going to focus on me. I'm going to take time for myself. And you say it in a nice way. And that's it. And you focus 100% on yourself. Detach from that old story. That is not a reality you want to be in. Focus on yourself, filling up your own cup, being your own best friend, becoming the best version of you. And that's how you attract the best version of someone else. Why would you want anything less than that for yourself? Yes, Ava. It's true. You become whole. You become, I like to say the word like independent in a way, but it is. You become whole on your own. You're not needing someone outside of you to fill a void. You're not seeking that validation anymore. And you will have an amazing relationship because of that. Anything else is like codependency, right? That's part of our programming. We're stepping out of that. They're old paradigms, as Bob Proctor would say. Then just come, don't care. Oh, thanks, AJ. Hi, Hebe. My phone is dying. I don't know why. It was fully charged. How to forgive yourself for manifesting rejection, lover, giving, losing. That's a long story, Carrie. You need to just focus on practicing non-reaction. I can tell exactly where you're at. There's nothing to forgive. There's no one to forgive. It was all unconscious creation, Carrie. There's nobody to blame. Nobody knew. We literally, everybody has created unconsciously. There's nobody to forgive. There's no one to blame. You just need to focus on yourself. You need to be practicing non-reaction, meditation, breath work, and do all the things that we talk about on here. Join our Facebook group. It's very positive. It's very uplifting. And trust me, it's only going to get better from here. It's only going to get better from here. I promise you. You don't have to worry about that, Hebe. Don't worry about that, because the thing is that you don't have to worry about that when you make it about how you feel. Because if you're feeling good, you're fine. You're breaking through everything. But you're making it more about when you don't feel good, Hebe, because that's a limiting belief. So anytime you don't feel good, that's a limiting belief. And that's something that doesn't serve you. And in those moments when you're practicing calmness, Hebe, they're leaving your life. They're exiting your life. So you don't have to worry about, like, do I still have blocks? Do I still have things I need to work on? That's the, like, old way of manifesting, right? I gotta figure out where they're coming from. I gotta figure out where my trauma is coming from. I gotta figure out where these blocks are, what beliefs I still hold that don't serve me. You don't have to do that. When you make it about how you feel, you're obviously just going through life feeling the best you can and you know, making the best of what you do have. And you're making it more about when you don't feel good. Because anytime you don't feel good, Hebe, at all, it's always, that's a limiting belief. It's always something that's not serving you. And in those moments, you're using that to your advantage and you're practicing non-reaction. And that is going to have you go towards everything you want. It is that simple, but we don't think it's that simple. Because our minds want to make it way more difficult because we've been programmed to make things more difficult. That is also all a part of our programming. Yes, focus on yourself. Stay calm when those stories pop up, Carrie. Carrie, I can tell you right now, I know these stories seem dominant and real. You're making them real by speaking about them and keep speaking about them, but they hold no power. You've got to stop giving them power by speaking about it. You got to stay calm. You got to practice non-reaction now. Keep doing the breath work. Trust me, they hold no power, but we give them power by speaking about them, by thinking about them over and over again in our minds. It's an addiction, right? These stories are very dominant. They hold a lot of momentum. This is an opportunity for you, Carrie, to keep practicing non-reaction, to keep silencing those thoughts as much as possible. They will die off. Relax into that discomfort. I know it's not comfortable. Breathe into that discomfort. Fall into that discomfort. Let your body fall into it as much as possible. Remind yourself in those moments, I am safe. I am taken care of. I am being guided. I am not alone. I am safe. I am safe. Say that over and over again. Trust me, you will start seeing results quickly. Your life will start to change quickly. Yes, thanks. Thanks, Jerry. Yeah, if any of you guys want to join our private Facebook group, it's very positive, very uplifting. We're all supporting each other in there. Kind and calm, yes. Okay, I'm going to jump off, guys, because my phone's going to die. And it's in a weird spot now, so it's like I can kind of reach my charger, but it's like a little bit of a stretch, right? No, you're okay, Carrie. I know, it's not your fault. You're just learning this. It's brand new information. Trust me, you're going to get it. Your life's going to get better. It's going to improve. You're in good hands here with us. Now, it's free. My Facebook group's free, Carrie. Doesn't cost any money. None of this costs money, Carrie. My content, all my playlists, Carrie, everything, that's all free. You watch all my playlists up top in my content. Exactly, yes. MS, nobody has power over you at all. Nobody can hurt you in your reality. Nobody can affect you in your reality unless you give them permission. And that's where calmness, silence, stillness is your best friend in those moments. We're not judging anyone. We're not angry at them in our minds. I use a person as an example, but this can be for anything in your reality. person, place, or thing. Circumstance, doesn't matter what it is. It does not hold power over you unless you give it power. And we give power to it by getting angry, getting upset, getting frustrated. We want to get calm in those moments. We want to come from kindness in those moments. We're not judging anyone, right? We're just moving towards our best lives. That doesn't fit our reality anymore. That served us at one point, but it doesn't serve us anymore, and we're moving forward. All right, I'm going to jump off, guys. I'm really sorry, but I'm losing my voice, and my phone is dying. I don't know why. I thought I had it charged more. But again, join us in our private Facebook group if you need extra guidance and extra support right now. And Carrie, yes, it's free, a private Facebook group. And again, all my content up there is free too. You know what? I forget to tell people this. If anyone is new to this, Carrie, especially you, I have a free ebook. It's about your emotions. Read it because it talks about creating your own reality. It's very good for anyone that's new to this, new to like knowing that you create your own reality and that your thoughts create your reality. So Carrie, go to my library where I have all my ebooks, and there is a free ebook on emotions. It's very helpful for anyone that's new to creating your own reality. And I'm so sorry I forget to talk about that. I don't talk about it enough. Carrie, right in my link there, it says Linktree. You'll see ebooks, not the one. I have two of them. Go to the one that says ebooks. Click on that link. You have to put in your email. It'll send you to all my ebooks, and it'll say emotions on there. It'll say emotions. You'll see it because it's free. Yes. Yeah, it talks all about creating your own reality. It talks about breath work. It talks about meditation. Actually, I have exactly how I did everything I did step by step. And I don't talk about that enough, and I need to start talking about that. I don't know why. And even breath work. I have exactly what I did and how I did it word for word. So get that book. It's extremely helpful. Carrie, join my YouTube too, because I will post this. I put all my lives on my YouTube as well. So I upload them onto my YouTube. So you'll go to my links and you'll be able to join the Facebook group, YouTube, and get that book, get that free ebook. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off now before I don't have a voice. I got to save my voice for tomorrow. You would think that my world is so quiet and I have no voice when I jump on here. It's not like I talk all day. This is it. Like, it's the only time I talk and when I make my videos. So you're always feeling your emotions. You're always feeling your emotions. You're just calming down in those moments. It's not like you're just calming your emotions down, right? You're calming yourself down in those moments. You can't not feel your emotions, right? You are an emotional being. That's how you experience things in this reality, is through your emotions, right? Again, check out my ebook because it talks a lot about emotions. It talks a lot about how when you're first learning this, how your emotions are a roller coaster. You're all over the place at first, right? It's really about balance. Practicing non-reaction is helping you balance out your emotions. Okay, I'm going to jump off here, guys. How much crying is too much? Don't be hard on yourself if you're crying. I don't have an Instagram, but I think I'm going to start one up. I think I should start one up. I have 2 Instagrams, but I don't use them. And I really should start a brand new one up and do that. I should, because everybody keeps asking me about an Instagram. Is Instagram popular like that? Emily, okay, so just know that physical pain is a product of our thoughts, okay? So this is going to help you as well with physical pain. Practicing non-reaction, practicing doing breath work, doing meditations, practicing calmness in those moments, doing other things that can distract you from the pain, even if it's just for a little bit here and there. I promise you, Emily, you will start to see changes in your life. I actually have a video in physical pain. Check it out in my playlist, okay? All right, guys, I have to jump off. Everybody have a really good night. Love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow, okay? Thank you guys for moderating for me.